2 blocks close by. But first we'll start in Sukhasana, crossing the legs at the shins. And letting the torso lift and lengthen, allow the shoulders to soften away from the ears. We'll take a few deep inhales. Use the arms to expand through the center chest, reach the arms wide. And with the exhale, let the arms soften down, keeping the neck, the jaw loose. Inhale, open it up. And exhale, relax the arms. And again, reach those arms wide, open it up. And exhale, relax the arms. Good, bring the hands to the fronts of the knees. We'll draw the arms into the back body to pull the chest upwards. And then arch through the spine, draw your navel in. Let the shoulder blades spread. And lifting the chest. Soften the shoulders down. And arch through the spine. Just gently warming up the spine. Finding your slouchy arch of the spine, and then your back bend as you pull the arms into the back body. And then back to the center, let the shoulders soften. And then bring your hands to your bottom ribs. And we're just gonna lean like you're a teapot. So a little lean to the side, and then back to the center and lean to the other side. And notice the breath as you do this. Taking bigger, deeper breaths as you lift, and then as you exhale, lean to the side. So try not to hold your breath as you lean. And moving at your own pace, or the pace of your breath. So we're not so much leaning from the hinge of the waist, we're trying to lean a little higher, up where the chest is, or the right below the chest, the middle ribs. You can relax the arms, try to keep the work out of the shoulders, continue to lift the side ribs. And you want to really kind of get in that diaphragmatic, or it's like right above the diaphragmatic band. Good, and then bring it back to the center. Let the shoulders relax. And then we'll draw the left ear up towards the ceiling as you let your left shoulder soften down. And again, imagine the breath filling those bottom lungs. With the exhale, the shoulders soften, the ear extends higher. And then we'll lift the head back to the center and take the other side, letting the right shoulder drop, extend your right ear up towards the ceiling. Stay with the breath. And then lift back to the center. Relax those shoulders once more. We're going to stretch the legs out in front. Extend out through the heels. Actually, I'll face you. Extend out through the heels. And let the thighs drop heavy. Find your Dandasana. If your hamstrings are really tight this early in the morning, or just in general, extend one leg at a time and then the other. So you can bend one knee as you extend through one heel and then extend through the other. Try to keep your pelvis as neutral as possible. The torso is nice and lifted. You can always use the hands to keep the torso extended, the chest lifting. And then we'll extend those heels out, straightening the legs, let the thighs drop once more. Imagine the inner thighs dropping down a little bit faster. You can even spread the flesh of the buttocks a little bit to allow the inner thighs to descend. And then we'll take the left hand back behind, right hand to the outside of the left thigh. With the inhale, draw the inner body up, and as you exhale, turn. Imagine turning from your waist, from your bottom ribs, middle ribs, chest, then the shoulders. Keep pushing through your left heel. Don't take it with you on that twist. And notice the breath. Keep breathing into the side ribs. And then release. Back to the center, and we'll take the other side. Take the right hand back. Keep reaching out through the right heel, left hand to the outer right thigh. Lifting the torso and turn. And those legs, the pelvis, stay grounded, and then turn from your waist, from your bottom ribs, your middle ribs, the chest, the shoulders. And then release, back to the center. All right, and then from here, keep those legs extended. We'll take our side stretch again, but this time imagine the whole side lengthening in the, and observe where you hinge when you release your left hand down to the floor. Reach up with the right arm and extend over. Finding the lift, the length, keep rooting your right hip into the floor. Don't take it with you. And then back to the center and up and over to the other side. Root the left hip down, finding the lift, the length. And then we'll take it to the other side again, reach and extend. And back to the center. And roll out through the shoulders. Letting the shoulders soften. And we'll rock our head. Releasing the chin towards the chest. And then rock your right ear over to the right shoulder. And chin to the chest, left ear to left shoulder. And gently rocking side to side. And releasing the chin back to the chest. And lift your head back up to center. All right, we're going to take our 2 blocks. And you'll bring one block to the lowest height. And then your second block to the medium height. And bringing your shoulder blades onto the lower block, your head onto the medium block. Make sure it's the shoulder blades, more of the upper back supported. Allow the back base of the skull to rest on the higher block. Shoulder blades softening down. Notice if it's on your low back or your bottom ribs, it's too low. You want to keep it higher up on those shoulder blades. And then let the arms extend out to the sides. Reach the arms wide. And tuck your shoulder blades in. Tuck them in towards each other. And then lift your bottom just a little bit and scoot yourself back so you feel your flesh of your upper back pull away from the base of the neck. So scoot yourself back just a little bit, just so you feel the flesh drag down. And then you can slowly soften those arms back into the floor, release the sacrum to the mat, and let your head rest. And we'll rest here about a minute. So just find your breath. You can keep your knees bent or drop the knees inward or extend the legs long, whatever feels more quieting for you. And just observe the breath here. See if you can move the breath deep into the low lungs, into the side ribs. And with every exhale, allow the arms to soften, the head to relax. The weight of the legs drop into the hip sockets or towards the floor. And then from here, maintain your position, but we're gonna lift the arms off the floor a little bit. Have your elbows bent, so you're in like your cowboy surrender. And then you're going to slide your fingertips back till your thumbs, your pointer fingers touch above your head. And then slide your elbows back down towards your waist. And try to keep those shoulder blades tucked in. You can adjust so they can stay grounded on the block as you slide the arms. Let gravity pull them down gently. And notice where you begin to tense, letting the neck soften, allow the head to be supported. And keep your chin parallel to the floor, parallel to the wall in front of you. Make sure your chin isn't jutting up towards the ceiling. You want to keep the back of the neck long. And notice how the movement feels, how it might feel different in one arm, one shoulder than the other, maybe even the chest or the neck. Just notice where the sensations of the movement are on one side of the body compared to the other. And we tend to notice a big difference in the shoulders since we're all, generally more dominant-handed on one side than the other. All right, and then from here, have your feet in line with your heels. Let your arms rest again. Allow the shoulder blades to tuck in. And then we're going to press your feet into the floor. Lift your hips just about an inch or so, or a few inches. And then you'll release your block that's under your head down to the lowest height. So lift your hips as high as you need to make that comfortable. And then take the arms straight up towards the ceiling. Let the weight of the arms drop into the shoulder sockets. So again, you can kind of adjust on the block, on the shoulder blades. And that's a little trickier if you've got a wider, upper back. The block is a little bit smaller for you guys. And then we'll start to extend the arms back. So as you extend the arms back, imagine lengthening from your tricep, like you're pulling your pinky fingers towards the wall behind you. And notice if you feel a little resistance, pull the arms back a little bit farther, maybe lift your hips a tiny bit higher, and extend the fingertips back. See how far they can go. And then begin to soften your hips down towards the floor. And if it really pulls your arms up, keep your hips lifted. But see if you can get those hips to the floor as the arms extend back. Notice, do those thumbs come towards the floor? Is one thumb closer than the other? Are you nowhere near? Just observe. Notice what's going on in the shoulders. And keep your neck relaxed. The neck is loose, and breathe. Breathe into the side ribs, into the bottom lungs. Find the extension. Imagine someone's pulling those pinky fingers back behind you. And try to avoid turning your head even to look at me. I'm looking at you, but good. Nice work. And then release the hips back down. You're going to lift your block back to the medium height and let the arms rest once more. You can always adjust if you kind of slid off your block a little bit. And just let the back body rest again here. Make any adjustments you need to after that stretch. And again, the legs, the knees can rest in towards each other, or you can extend those legs long, just whatever feels quieting. All right. And then we're going to roll off our side. So I want you to roll off your block over to your side and then press yourself back up. We're going to take another variation with those blocks. Come off cautiously, rolling fully to the floor. Good. All right, so we're going to take the block that was at the lowest height. You'll take it to the medium height, but you'll bring it lengthwise. Yeah. Which way is easier for you to see on camera. And then you'll take the second block to the highest height. So this one, you want to be sure that you get these bottom tips, and they're going to be at the bottom of the shoulder blades. So right, really the middle ribs, the bottom tips there. And then I have a blanket for under my legs. If you have something to support under the thighs, it just allows the us to rest in our back bend a little bit with a little more ease. So we'll bring those two little pokey points right to the bottom of the shoulder blades. And then let yourself rest on the block. Squeeze the shoulder blades in towards each other. And then the base of the skull rests on the higher block. And take your time to find proper placement. If you feel like you're crooked on those blocks, you are. So take the time to adjust. And you can keep your knees bent while the back body settles, especially if you find this is really a little more intense for you. And of course, if it's too much, you bring those blocks lower, bring them down to the next height. And then from here, you can extend those legs if you feel settled. And letting the arms release once more, letting the legs soften. And we'll rest here once more, about a minute. So just observe the breath, observe the pressure points. Think of those pokey parts of the block like little magic fingers pushing into your back. Allowing the base of the skull to extend back. So the neck lengthens. The chin softens down gently. The legs rest heavy, either into the floor or into your support. And finding a deeper breath. Notice you can't breathe into the back body anymore, that's occupied. Let the breath move into the bottom lungs, the side ribs, even down into the belly. And with every exhale, let yourself soften. Notice if you're resisting the position at all. Sometimes we pull away from the blocks. So let the blocks hold you. Let the arms melt to the sides of the blocks. Allow yourself to take the shape. You want to find your liquid body taking the shape of the blocks. And then again here, we'll lift the elbows and take your little lazy snow angels once again. Drag those elbows down and then slide the hands up. And the arms have the opportunity to drop a lot deeper here. And of course, that depends on how tight you are in the chest, the shoulders, the back, how deep your elbows drop or the arms drop. So observe the stretch points. Again, how one side feels compared to the other. And stay with the breath, keep your neck loose. And then keep the elbows pulled out to the side, the neck soft. We're going to take the right arm up towards the ceiling, or sorry, the elbows stay out to the side. Just the right hand comes up to the ceiling, and the left arm drops down. So the elbows stay in the same position. Good. And then we'll switch. Drop your right hand towards the floor and push your left palm up towards the ceiling and then down towards the floor. So see how far you can go with that rotation. And then we'll switch. Take that right palm down towards the ceiling. I'm sorry, down towards the floor. The left hand, left palm turns up towards the ceiling. So you're getting that sort of scarecrow arm on one side, and the other arm stays in your goal post. And just alternating. Try to keep the elbows in the same position as you rock. Head rests, neck is loose. And then from here, let those arms extend wide, reach out through the fingertips. Take the arms overhead, turn the palms towards each other, and extend the arms back. Find the space in the side ribs as you reach the arms back, let your head rest. Notice what happened to the breath. And then release the arms back alongside the body one more time. And one more minute here, letting those arms rest, the shoulders soften. The neck is loose. And then from here, we'll bend the knees again, and since you're a little higher, you can roll off to your side like you did previously to get off the blocks, or you can press your hands into the floor and come back up to sitting. So whatever feels more, a little more ease in your transition, you can do that. Good, take your time. And come up to sitting. Just find your long spine here. Notice how it feels. You can take a bigger, deeper breath once again. Sometimes with that block right in your back body, it sort of hits the diaphragm. So imagine the bottom ribs expanding and spreading, and with the exhale, let them soften in. And then relaxing those arms. We're going to make our way onto our backs again. We're going to take a supported bridge. So have one block close by, coming onto your back. And let the shoulder blades tuck in and under. So already you feel the shoulder blades are lifted off. You have like a little pup tent between the shoulder blades. The spine is not touching the floor. The armpit chest is lifting, pulling upward. And then we'll take the block, and I want you to try for the highest height. And you want the block the skinny width. The highest height, the skinny width, under the sacrum. If you know that is not happening for you, you take your block to the medium height and bring it the wide way. So either one, whatever you can do. Usually just getting there is the harder part. Once you're up there, it's not so bad. So from here, imagine your sacrum being guided towards the backs of the knees. And same thing here, if you feel like it's crooked, it is. So take your time to adjust. Let those shoulder blades tuck in and under a little bit more. The shoulder blades are pulling up and away. And let those arms soften. Let the biceps roll open. Allow the legs to rest heavy. The feet right below the knees. You can bring them even slightly wider and drop the knees in if that spreading of the sacrum feels good for you. And finding the breath here, letting the top heads of the shoulders rest. The back of the neck is long. And this time, imagine the breath moving into the belly, into the lower abdomen. Fill the belly, or feel the belly fill. And with the exhale, let the belly gently hollow back in. And if at any time it feels too intense to be up this high, you can always lower it down and maintain the work. Lower the block, I mean. Letting the arms roll out. Once the sticky mat holds them in place, it should be pretty effortless to allow the palms to roll open. And then from here, we're going to change the placement of the hands. So you can walk your hands down. If you can, you can clasp around your block. This one's always hard for me. I've got short arms and a long torso. So if you can clasp your hands around your block, clasp them. See, if you can stretch your knuckles towards your heels. Another variation is to step on your fingertips, turning the palms upwards and lifting. You might have to lift off your block to do that because it shortens the stance a bit. But clasping around the block is a good one. And then we'll free those hands. Press the elbows into the floor, fingertips point straight up. We're going to lift the hips 3 times, come back onto your block. So push into the heels, lift the hips. They'll barely lift, release back down. Push into the heels, lift the hips. And release. And one more, push into the heels, lift the hips. And this time, you'll take your block to the medium height. So lower it down, let the sacrum extend. Again, you can have the legs just resting, knees over the ankles, or bring the feet a little wider and drop the knees in. So hanging out here, observe the breath, let it move into your belly. And then from here, push the feet into the floor again, lift the hips. We'll take it down to the next lowest height, letting those shoulders soften. And again, just rest, observe the breath moving into the belly. And then we'll push the heels into the floor, release the hips back down, and just rest here. Let the spine lengthen. Feel the neutral spine, the arms relax. And take the arms up towards the ceiling. Again, let the weight of the arms drop into the shoulders. Squeeze the triceps in, roll the triceps in towards your midline, and extend the arms back. Keep those palms facing each other as you reach the arms back. And notice if you meet some resistance here, lengthen from your triceps a little bit more. Push your feet into the floor and slide yourself back so you feel the flesh of your back body get pulled down towards your heels as the arms extend the direction of your head. And then maintain the reach of the arms, start to extend the legs out. One at a time, extend through those heels. As you push through the legs, notice how much of your body got pulled down with your legs. Keep the upper body extending with the arms and drop the thighs down. Push the heels forward. Soften those bottom front ribs down as the arms extend back. Neck is loose, jaw relaxed. Okay. And then from here, release those arms. Good, we'll take a twist. Bend the knees. Bring your right leg over the left leg. Take your hips over to the right. And then drop your knees down to the left. Try to keep the shoulders rooted. Releasing the knees down. If the knees don't come down easy, you can always support. Or maybe they do come down easy, but it doesn't feel great on the low back or on the spine. Always find some support. Or just don't take it so deep. And imagine the breath moving down the torso with the inhale, with the exhale, soften yourself into the twist. And then we'll lift the knees back to the center and we'll take it to the other side. So you'll scoot your hips to the other side, take that left leg over the right and release. And then lift the knees back to the center. Realign the hips with the shoulders. Take the feet wide and rock your knees side to side. And then we'll roll all the way over to your right side and press yourself back up. Come on to your hands and knees. Grounding the palms down. Let the shoulders soften away from the ears, knees right underneath the hips, and take your cat-cows here, extending the chest. With the exhale, arch through the spine. And when you extend your chest, instead of lifting your tail towards the ceiling, think of extending your tail towards the wall behind you and pull your chest forward. And then arch through the spine, release the tail to the knees, the chin to the chest. Extend the chest forward, reach your tail straight back so it's not as much of a back bend. Reach the tail straight back as the chest extends forward. And then coming to a neutral spine, we'll walk the hands out in front, pushing through the palms and pull your forearms up. When you pull your forearms up, see that your elbows spin out to the sides. So the elbows pull out to the sides. So this is how like a super beginner does down dog. Pulling those elbows out to the side. And then keep the forearms lifted. We're gonna pull the triceps in. The forearms lift and spin the triceps in. So now the eyes of the elbows point forward. or as forward as you can get them. Keep the palms grounded as the eyes of the elbows turn forward as far as they can. And then soften the shoulders out of the ears. Pull the shoulders down. Good. Imagine your neck or your back of your head lengthening away from your body. And we'll curl the toes under. Lift your side ribs. Pull your side ribs up away from the underarms. And then push your toes into the floor to lift your hips. And notice if you lost any of the work in the arms. Forearms lift, triceps squeeze in, pull the rib cage up off the arms. And rock it out through the legs. We'll come forward to plank. Bring the shoulders over the wrists, and then you'll drop your chest towards the floor and then push the chest away from the floor. So spread the shoulder blades as you push the floor away from you, and collapse the shoulder blades in as you drop your chest. Keep your chin tucked in as you do this. Good, and then we'll move back to down dog. Hips are high, torso's long. Find the lift of the arms, squeeze of the triceps. And then look forward towards your hands. Walk, step, hop those feet forward. On your inhale, find the length, the extension of the torso. And with the exhale, soften the torso down. Push into the feet, reach the arms out and up. And make big expansive movements with the arms. And exhale, hands to the heart. Roll those shoulders out. Find your strong Tadasana. Rooting through the heels. Good, thighs are firm, chest is lifted. We're going to take the arms out to the sides. With the exhale, pull the elbows, shoulder blades down. And we're going to lean forward just a little less than halfway. Keep your belly drawn in. And let your arms hang here. You can make like egg beaters with the arms. Good. Really let them hang off the shoulders. And then switch the direction. Swinging those arms around. Good. Just let them go. Let them relax. Drop, yeah, there you go. Drop those arms. Really like ragdoll arms. Let them hang off the shoulders. Let them hang. Let them go. Yeah, good. Nice work. And then we'll do it side to side. And forward, back. Nice work. Keep your belly drawn in. Weight is in the legs. Good. All right, and then from here you can lift back up, roll out through the shoulders. And take the right arm out in front and bring it across. We're going to use the left hand to press to stretch the shoulder blade. Keep the shoulder dropping down. The chest is lifted as you take it over. Good. Smooth breaths. Breathe into the stretch points. And then release the arm out just a little bit. And we're going to push the right hand into the left hand, or the right forearm into the left arm. So you're really resisting. You're pushing away, trying to get that arm away from you. But you're pulling it back in with the other arm. Nice work. And then relax the work. Roll it out again. Relax the shoulders, relax the neck. And we'll take the other side. Take the left arm forward and across the body. Gently press. And then we'll push the arm away from us, pushing the left arm away as you draw it in with the right hand. Nice work. Release the arm and roll out through the shoulders. Take your left hand back behind, left hand back behind. Bring it to the glute. So your hand comes right to your glute. And the back of the hand rests, and pull your elbow out to the side, keeping the chest lifted. So the hand presses, or the back of the hand presses, pull the elbow out to the side. You want to feel the front of the collarbone, the front head of the shoulder. Good. Take care that you're not pulling your elbow back, just straight out. Yeah, there you go. Good. You can even rock your head a little if you feel that stretch move up the neck. And then relax the work of the arm. We're going to take the left arm and then swing it up the back. So take it up a little bit higher. And you don't have to force anything. We're not moving into a full Gomukhasana arm or anything. Just taking the arm up, see what you can do. It's a strong opening of the front of the shoulder. And we tend to roll our shoulder forward when we take the arm up. But I want you to keep the shoulder back and pull your armpit chest, draw that space up to pull, to find the pose here, or the stretch. Okay. And then from here, release the arm and roll out through the shoulders. All right, and we'll take the other side. So take the right hand and bringing the right hand to the right glute, pull the elbow out to the side. And gently rock the head. Good, breathe into the stretch points, pressing the back of the hand, pulling the elbow straight out to the side. Feel the collarbone, the front head of the shoulder. And anywhere else it may move those stretch points into. And then from here, relax the arm. Shake it out a little bit. And then we'll take the right hand and swing the right hand up the back. See how high you can work the hand up the back. And again, notice if this shoulder is really rolling forward, you want to draw the armpit chest upward so the shoulder moves back as the hand walks up the back. Let the other side relax. Notice if your torso contorts. Sometimes we, pull our chest forward to get our hand a little higher. Soften the bottom ribs down. And just breathe. Stay with the breath. Good. And then we'll release the hand. So shake it out. Clasp the hands behind. And lift your shoulders a little bit. Pull the elbows back and reach the knuckles down. elbows down, shoulder blades down to lift your chest. Pulling the hands away from your sacrum, but only after you get the shoulders down. If the shoulders are still rolling forward, those hands aren't going to go very far. And then release. Take the hands forward and crossing the hands over, clasping the hands here, and pull the knuckles out in front. Let your chin soften towards your chest. And then lifting up, remember which hand you have on top. And then take the hands back behind. And this time take the opposite crossing, the opposite pointer finger on top. So it should feel strange. Until you know you've got the right one. Lift the shoulders, squeeze the elbows in, reach the knuckles down, elbows down, shoulder blades down. Pulling the hands back as you lift your chest. Keep your neck loose. And then releasing the arms, take those arms forward again. Take the opposite hand on top and stretch those knuckles forward. Soften your chin. And then release those arms, roll out through the shoulders. Good. We're going to take those arms out and up, reach and extend. Exhale all the way down. With the inhale, torso lengthens. And exhale, release. Let your torso hang. Your forward fold, you can rock it out a little bit. Let the head go, rock the head, yes, no. You can even roll the shoulders a bit. Finding that separation of the head, the shoulders, the upper back. And then bringing those palms down, we're going to make our way onto our hands and knees. You can always move through a squat if you want to challenge yourself. But we're making our way to the floor for Shavasana. If you'd like to take a little extra support in your Shavasana and you have a blanket, we're going to fold it, tri-fold. So you'll accordion fold your blanket. So it's folded in thirds, you have one long strip. And you'll bring that length, the length of your mat. Have the folded edge towards your head. And then it's just a little tiny shoulder stand. Setu Bandha, Sarvangasana. You want to tuck the shoulder blades in and then slide yourself back until the shoulders are, the top heads of the shoulders are on the floor. The sacrum's being guided towards the heels. And then let the back body rest. Allow those arms to rest heavy. Let the legs release off to the sides of the blanket. So just a little tiny support to continue with the chest opening, softening of the shoulders, release of the arms. And allowing the breath here to move into the belly fills, and the belly softens back in. You're muted. You may begin to deepen your breath. And start to wiggle your fingers and wiggle your toes. Extend the arms up overhead and reach out through the heels. And when you're ready, rolling over to your right side. And press yourself back up to sitting. And finding the grounding through the sits bones again, lifting long through the torso. Shoulders relax and bring those palms together. And finding the breath once again. And I thank you. Namaste.